Opa, diferente. Chão, garrafa. Plantas. Então, será que ele conseguiu sair do Alasca aqui nessa parte? Ai, merda. Ai, ai, ai. Quase que eu caio. Ai, peguei, não sei o que que é. 3. Outro acampamento, né? Uma de 3 ali em cima. Que a gente vai conseguir achar as outras. É, vamos tentar, né? Achar as outras, né? Tá certo. Ali pra trás não tinha nada. Agora vamos ver pra esse lado de cá. Aí tem uma história lá embaixo lá pra desenterrar. Vamos lá. Outra coisa lá no finalzinho também. Deixa eu ver qual é dessa história aqui. Podia estar dublado, né, mano? É muito top esse joguinho dublado. Uma olhada primeiro na cultura, pra ver se a gente consegue entender melhor. Ele vai pra frente. Tem um celeiro, né?
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real, growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but you know, I was a weird kid.
Well, You had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
Aí ele simplesmente não acreditava, né? Fantasmas. A patinha da minha bichinha bugou. Ih! Oi, patinho. Ela tá sem pata agora, que merda. O que aconteceu, cara? Será que era pra acontecer? Não, não, tá bugado. E... outro lado agora. Skate sem roda. Ela tá apontando pra lá. Meteu o pé logo. Olha no outro lado da floresta. Sessenta.
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
Colchão e as latinhas de Coca-Cola. Alta pra cá também. Arbolinha. Latinha da bichinha bula. Ah. Depois ele... no final ver o que tem. Ah, mais um pezinho a pezinho. Lá ver.
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. we decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes, the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. But then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
Eu acho que a minha patinha bugou de algum motivo, cara. Olhando pra cá certinho, ela desbuga. Apontando pra lá. E eu, cara, vou voltar lá pra ver se tem mais alguma coisa do lado de lá. Voltar lá e vou ver se tem alguma coisa. Ó, tem mais ali pra frente, tem aquela listrona ali, caindo. A gente vai pra lá logo? Quero ver lá pra frente. Vamos ver o que tem aqui. Vamos dar uma olhada logo. Já estamos aqui mesmo? Espero que não mude de mapa, né? Porque eu acho que tem mais coisa pra ver lá pro outro lado. Ai, 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 ai. Pegamos. Eu acho que eu vou pegar todas nesse mapa aqui, né? Lá na outra luz. naquela... Tá tudo doido logo pra passar de mapa pra essa mãozinha dela voltar pro lugar, mano. Na moral. Sapatinha. Esse mapa aqui é bem maior do que os outros que apareceram até agora, hein? Será que a nossa terceira tá ali agora? Opa, tem uma... Opa, tem um monte de coisa ali, vamos lá. Vou pegar essa história aqui. Eu acho que aqui pra frente vai continuar, né? Os lados aqui não. Muita paradinha ali pra pegar. Perfeito. Dá uma olhada aqui mais pra frente. Mas acho que não tem mais nada aqui pra frente, não. Aí tem a casa abandonada lá. Tem mais aqui uma mesa desenhando casa, né? Agora vamos lá ler a história da árvore. Não tô vendo mais nenhuma outra luz. Deve ser ali, ó. O terceiro ponto deve ser ali, não é possível. Tomara, né? Opa, tem vários. Ah, ali, ó, o terceiro ponto ali. Mas vamos ver logo isso aqui primeiro.
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I loved sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
Irmão, tá achando que é fácil ser pai? Nada.
stood nearby, unfazed, like nothing was wrong. My dad is dead, and he's never coming back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that we'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
Exato. Ai, mais um. Saco. Tadinho. Sacanagem. Mais um morto. Poxa. Será que foi esse lobo que matou, cara? Raiva desse bicho. Sacanagem. É desse lobo, irmão. Baixo. Pô, tomara que pelo menos um filhotinho esteja vivo, né, cara? Caraca, história triste. Espero que eu não tenha perdido nenhum desses flocozinhos de luz, né? Quero tentar pegar todos, todos, todos. Mais uma história ali, vamos lá ver.
I need to go to bed. I just can't talk about this anymore. Good night.